playgrounds like this are bad for play.
Researching playgrounds, this was one of the first ones I drove to see how they work.
And this dad wants to fix it.
I've never witnessed kids play with those things. I think at best, if you do it once, that's enough, and it's not really worth repeating. So a child in a wheelchair is expected to wheel up here and then use this handle to pull themselves out of their chair and I guess drag their feet up this series of steps. Something I've never, in my 10 years of being a playground expert, witnessed happen. We'll just get rid of that whole idea.
This is Cody. He's on a mission to build better playgrounds and, well, make play better for everyone.
Going part way is not enough. You have to go all the way. So Harper's Playground will play a role in changing the way every outdoor space is built in the future.
We often think of play as frivolous, but it's actually an important part of human development. Play helps us imagine, investigate the world, make friends, and develop our motor skills. And playgrounds are essential to that journey. But as Cody found out when his daughter was born, not everyone has the same access to play.
Just make you even look more beautiful. A little bit extra. When Harper came out, she couldn't breathe on her own. That's really where a lot of this begins, because it was so frightening. I stood above Harper's face, pleading with her to fight for life, and we were told that she had this rare genetic difference, and that we should expect she would never walk nor talk in her lifetime. Fast forwarding 4 years later, she's taking a maiden trip in her little yellow walker to the neighborhood park. And it really is a setup for what happened next, which is that little walker getting stuck in the wood chips that surround typical playgrounds. My wife absolutely said we should do something about that. And that's what started what became Harper's Playground. I actually found a way to make it not sound good. It's really hard to do. Our hill was designed with a spiral walkway so that wheelchairs can actually get some speed going. And what we love seeing is wheelchairs rolling alongside skateboards. The slide has got a double wide on two sides, so a caregiver and their child can go together.
When you look at these playgrounds, there's an entire philosophy that underpins them.
So we call our design principles radically inclusive through 3 levels of inviting. The space has to be physically inviting. So if you use wheels, you can get absolutely everywhere. And then we say it should be socially inviting, circular seating areas, communal gathering spaces, and the use of nature. And then the 3rd level is what we call emotionally inviting, and that's by using art, good design lines, music, things that put us in an even better emotional state. We feature sea turtles because the sea turtle really struggles on land to get around, but in water, they soar like an eagle. And a big part of our theory is that if you create the right environment, everyone can fly. We started out with the vision of making something that would work for Harper. And what we ended up realizing is that by designing for her, we designed something for everyone. In its essence, Harper's Playground is a movement to make the world a more inclusive place.
This message of inclusivity is gaining traction. Inspired by Cody, a few parents in Iowa built and opened an inclusive playground. And Cody now hosts workshops to teach others how to make their own Harper's Playground.
We met an individual who didn't actually realize that it was an inclusive playground. They just realized that it was a park for everyone. It's just natural, and I think that's one of the things I think is kind of epic about this design process. Give me a spin! Spin it! There it is!
We were a group of adults playing and climbing and laughing and having fun. This isn't a place for kids anymore. This is a place for community. Play! I really look forward to seeing this shift happen, and I want to help make it happen.
Ready? Think about Pete Rose. How fun is that? We want people to think way beyond just kids. Everybody, all ages and abilities. People like Harper are very vulnerable in the world and taken advantage of, and it can be a scary reality. And rather than focusing on how to try to change her, I naively maybe thought I probably could find a way to change the world. Changing the way playgrounds are built around the entire world will have a ripple effect, and it will affect the way schools are designed and built, and it'll affect how the workplace is treated, and then ultimately it'll change the way people with disabilities are thought of and treated around the entire world.
The mission for Harper's Playground is to change how playful and how inclusive we make the world. If everybody feels invited to play, then Harper's Playground can go out of business.